All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going on a bit of an adventure to discover the California sister butterfly.
Fascinating little creature.
We've got excerpts here packed with info about this butterfly. I'm excited to jump in and see what makes them so special, from their looks to their life cycle, all that good stuff.
Well, their story is really tied to the health of California's oak woodlands. They're a great example of what we call an indicator species.
So let's start with the basics. What does this butterfly actually look like? I mean, I've seen pictures, but I want to hear it described.
Oh, they're striking. They have these bold black or sometimes dark brown wings, and then bam, these bright orange patches and a white band that just cuts across.
Wow, yeah, that is pretty striking. Like a high contrast filter, but in nature.
Exactly. And there's a reason for those colors, too. It's all about mimicry. That pattern is incredibly similar to the monarch butterfly.
Oh, right. Monarchs are those toxic ones, right?
Cool.
Birds learn to avoid them.
Precisely. And even though the California sister isn't toxic itself, it benefits from looking like it might be. Predators see those colors, remember the monarch, and think, nope, not worth the risk.
That is so clever. And
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, how important is the size to that mimicry? I mean, the source mentions a wingspan of 2.75 to 3.75 inches.
That's a great point. You know, it's probably crucial. Visual mimicry relies on a lot of factors working together. The overall impression has to be convincing. So, yeah, the size and shape likely matter just as much as the colors.
So it's a whole package deal. It's like a flying billboard that says, danger, stay away.
Pretty much. And it works.
So we've got this butterfly that's a master of disguise. But where do we actually find these cricketers? What kind of habitat do they call home?
Well, as you might guess from the name, they're found mainly in California, but they're also in Oregon, and there are some populations in Nevada, Arizona, even down in Mexico.
Okay, so pretty decent range, but are they found everywhere in those states, or are they pickier than that?
They're definitely picky. They like it warm and dry, specifically areas where certain oak trees grow.
Oak trees, huh? So there's a connection there.
Oh, very strong connection. They need those oaks, especially live oaks like Quercus agrifolia and Quercus cologi. Those are their host plants.
Host plants, meaning?
It's where they lay their eggs and where the caterpillars grow up. So their entire life cycle is linked to those specific types of oak trees.
Oh, I see. So no oaks, no California sister butterflies.
Pretty much. And they usually stick to lower elevations too, below 7,000 feet.
Got it. So they're fans of the California sunshine, but not too high up in the mountains. Okay, so let's talk about that life cycle. We've got the oaks, we've got the eggs. What happens next?
Well, it starts with the female laying her eggs, and she doesn't just scatter them about. She lays each egg individually on an oak leaf.
Individually. Why so specific?
It's all about ensuring a food source for the caterpillar when it hatches. It emerges right there on a leaf, ready to eat.
Smart. So the caterpillar stayed, that's when they're just munching machines, right?
Absolutely. They spend their time eating, growing, and storing energy. They're described as being greenish-brown with small spines, which helps them blend in with the oak leaves.
Ah, camouflage. Clever.
Very clever. And then comes the most amazing part. The pupa stage.
This is where the magic happens. They form that chrysalis, right?
Exactly. And it's like a hidden transformation. The chrysalis usually blends in with the bark or the leaves, protecting the caterpillar while it undergoes this incredible change.
I mean, it's mind-blowing. The whole body reorganizing itself to become a butterfly.
I know, right? And according to the source, that whole process takes about 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That's wild.
It is. And then out pops the adult butterfly, ready for a life of nectar and flight.
So nectar, that means they're pollinators, right? Like bees and hummingbirds.
Exactly. As they feed on nectar from flowers, sap, even decaying fruit sometimes, they pick up pollen and spread it around. So they're not just pretty faces. They play a crucial role in the ecosystem.
But there was a hint of concern in the source material, right? About threats to their habitat.
Yeah, unfortunately there are. Habitat loss is a big one due to things like urban development and deforestation. And then there's the looming issue of climate change.
Climate change impacting butterflies.
Oh, absolutely. It can affect the distribution of oak trees, which, as we've discussed, are vital for the California sister butterfly. So changes in temperature and rainfall patterns can have a ripple effect.
So it's not just about protecting butterflies, it's about protecting their entire ecosystem.
Exactly. And it makes you think, what can we do to help? Even small actions can make a difference.
Like what? Planting more oak trees.
That's one way. But even planting native wildflowers in your garden can provide food and shelter for pollinators.
So being mindful of our gardens and the plants we choose. Got it.
It's all about creating environments where these butterflies can thrive.
It's amazing how much we've learned about this butterfly in such a short time.
It really highlights how complex and interconnected the natural world is.
It does. And it makes you appreciate those seemingly small creatures that are actually playing such a big role. Well, that's all the time we have for our deep dive today.
But hopefully it leaves you thinking about the California sister butterfly and what you can do to support them and other pollinators in your own backyard.
Absolutely. Until next time.